We greet you all. These are, as you know, exciting times. Things are beginning to pick up, as we had mentioned before, as you move into summer. Things vibrate more quickly, so you can anticipate accelerations in different areas of your life. Think about the fire in your lives, the things within you that inspire you, the things within you that motivate you, the things within you that nourish your empowerment, an extension of this, your creativity. You may notice the more empowered you are, the more creative of a genius you become. Have you ever noticed someone whom is incredibly disempowered seems to be disconnected from their creativity? Oftentimes, these people create the same types of cycles for themselves, the same types of routines, the same types of interactions that are designed to sort of nourish the comfort zone they have built. The more empowered someone is, the more diverse they are in how they express themselves in their relationships, in their dynamics, in their explorations. Paradoxically, a very creative person, can take on disempowerment as a type of theme that they learn to express through artistic means. So keep in mind, even though negativity can, in a sense, seem to bind people or hold people in place at times, the creative can take any negative frequency and can find a means of expressing the negative frequency. And through the expression of the negative frequency, especially through artistic means, the negative frequency is transformed as it moves through that expressive chakra and gateway. And as it is transformed, it turns into a manifestation of the person integrating and overcoming whatever that negative vibration was or previously represented. And now it is seen as a symbol of accomplishment. Something has been birthed, something has been created, something has been produced that is not negative. It may describe a negative thing. It might use negative energy as its creative juice, but ultimately it is something that is deemed to be impressive, even if it is impressive only to the creator or only to one person that views it. If it is something born from you, it is impressive. You must remember that whatever occurs in the story of life is a phenomenon within the story of life. You do not necessarily experience physically all of these alternate versions of life. You're aware of them, you can scan into them, but in your reality, you have the experience of really one version of life, one timeline. Yes, you're all in your own realities creating them, but for you, it is as if you are moving forward in time on a path. Maybe the path spirals, maybe the path has many portals that create a very dreamlike experience. Because of this illusion of having only one life, of being only on one path, what occurs within that life, what occurs on that path is always divinely orchestrated and is essential. Without that manifestation, no matter how negative or how trivial or how boring it might seem, without that, there would be no space, not only for the things that you enjoy and prefer, but there would be no reality at all. Every piece of the puzzle is needed. We are sharing this with you because you may find that in your life, one of the things that will accelerate is the process of healing. Now, many of you are very physically healthy, very mentally healthy, yet you may still find that despite your health and well-being, there are certain things you have held on to. There are certain things from the past that are connected to emotions, that are connected to what you might call trauma, that are connected to what you might describe as the younger self, that you still hold. The healing processes as you move closer to summer will continue to accelerate. So be bold, be willing to investigate what your emotional body, what your mental bodies share with you, because you will quickly be able to alchemize these energies and transform them, be it through artistic means, as we have described, or through self-reflective means, or through even energetic or alchemical means. You have many paths to work with these energies. Remember, they are just that, energies. Emotions do not indicate truth. You must remember this. They indicate opinion. That's all. Now, When we say emotions, we are talking about sensations produced by the body. There are sensations, there are feelings that do indicate truth. Many of you can feel when you are in alignment. Many of you can feel when your hearts are in resonance with the hearts of another. But you must remember that that's not necessarily coming from the emotional body. It's coming from your higher spirit body. Even though you will feel it on the emotional level, that is simply because the emotional level is reflecting the light of that spirit level. Think of the emotional level as water. It will simply reflect whatever light is cast upon it. This is why it's important to always pay attention whom you're hanging out with, the type of media you're taking in, the types of thoughts that you're entertaining, the types of foods that you're eating. All of these are like light sources that shine upon the waters of the emotional body. This is why we say it does not indicate truth. It can reflect something that is true, but it itself is only a mirror. So please keep this in mind with your emotions, because there are many people in your New Age movement who will declare, if I don't feel emotionally drawn to something, it's not for me. Yet there are many things that actually are for them that they walk away from. Emotions can guide you when the emotional body is well trained. The emotional body, like all of the subtle bodies that you have, has a certain intelligence to it. For some people, they've always had an emotional body. For some people, it actually started developing later in life. The mental body is just like this. Some people, their mental body is fully developed when they're children. They're little prodigies. And for some, it's like in their 20s, their mental body turns on. So you must remember these different bodies have different developmental processes that they're a part of. Through spiritual practice, you take control of the development of each of these layers and levels. So you're the one that determines your own rate of evolution. So you don't have to be dependent on the cycles of nature, the timing of nature. Yes, it is important to live within those cycles. However, keep in mind that it is always wheels within wheels within wheels, just as your Ezekiel described. So your cycle of nature on Earth is just reflecting a much larger cycle where objects move much more quickly. And that cycle, which you would call the cycle of your solar system, is just a part of a larger cycle, the cycle of your solar system moving through your galaxy. This is just a part of another cycle, your galaxy spiraling around. A center point, this center point is a portal. It is, in terms of physical manifestations, made of stars and black holes. You would think of it as a type of universal center that all of the galaxies spiral around. It is more nuanced than this, but we are sharing this with you for convenience in this particular way. Once you start spiraling at that level, the level of the galaxies, this is when you will find there are many universal centers that have many galaxies spiraling around them, because technically, in an infinite environment, every point is the center point. So whenever you identify what appears to be one universal center point, you'll find more in terms of the types of celestial phenomenon that are observed. So we thank you for receiving this introduction, this update. Use these healing energies well. Of course, your astrology is reinforcing this. You are in the zodiacal sign of the crab, which represents that of healing and restoration, going within, and also learning about boundaries, hence the claws of the crab. So have fun with this.